Yeah. The biggest and most important difference between using the hands or depending on the hands when you ride the horse and using the legs with the spurs is that when the horse disagrees with you, he wants something and you want something completely different. When he spooks, when he wants other horses, when he's a stallion and you ride him in front of mares and other stallions, he disagrees with you. He wants something that you want the complete opposite of. And in this case, he will react in a matter of seconds. Or act in a matter of seconds. So you have to react in a matter of seconds, unconsciously, without thinking. And when you do it unconsciously, without thinking, it's impossible to do something with the legs. Usually you will use the hand. So if it's something done unconsciously, without thinking, it should be the hand. The leg is about training the horse. For example, when you train the horse to move sideways or change the lead or do stuff by training him to accept and understand, let's say, the leg orders or movement with the spurs. And with time he actually understands exactly what you want. You just touch him with the left leg and move the right leg away and he gives you what you want, or the opposite. Now doing that while training the horse and after training the horse is easy. It's a training process. I'm talking about unconsciously reacting to the horse's action. The horse acted in front of other stallions or mares or when he spooks. Unconsciously, you will do a move with your body and with your legs. Usually, you will not actually use the legs or the spurs. Usually, you will not use the seat of your body or the position. You will use the hand. And that doesn't mean that depending on the body position or seat or the legs movement or orders is not correct. It does not mean it's not correct. It's actually correct. But if the way of riding depends on the legs and the seat and the body movement more than the talent, more than the hand accuracy, let's say, that means in the disagreement, when he spooks, when he's in front of other horses, when he wants something completely different than what you want, then this way or style of riding will not work. It works in other places. When you train the horse, as I said before, it's a training process. You train him to jump or to do some stuff in dressage and stuff like that. But when he disagrees, there is no real control. There is no real trust. But when the way of riding depends on the talent, on the accuracy of the hand, you're not using strength, but again, you're not just letting go of the rein. This is the real talent. Now, to prove what I just said, go watch videos of yourself or other riders and see how, let's say, beautiful they look when it comes for the body position and the leg movement or orders. Then try to watch a video of the same horse and rider when the horse spooks, and watch it in slow motion if you can. You will see that the body position completely switched and changed. The leg movement and orders completely switched and changed. And the rider depended on the hand reaction. He depends on the hand reaction when the horse disagrees. So if he depended on the hand reaction more than the body and more than the legs, and his hand reaction is actually not accurate because the way of riding does not depend on the hands, he will fall from the horse or he will lose control over the horse. But if the way of riding depends on the hand in the first place, he will control the horse in these situations. That's the difference. So that's the difference. It's a very big difference. When you ride horses that you want to break or start, when you deal with, let's say, a bad behavior of a horse who was trained in a very bad way. In the past, when they rode horses in the battlefield at war or in war, when you deal with the horse who was really hard to control, an Arabian horse, a hot blood, stuff like that. When you ride a stallion in front of other stallions and mares. When you ride a horse and he spooks and he's afraid and he wants to bolt. These are situations that will make the horse completely disagree with you. In this case, you need real control, real trust, not just a training process, which means only 10 or 20% will depend on the legs and the body, and the rest, more than 75 or 80%, depends on the hand. And if the way of riding has no real, let's say, talent in the hand, it will suck at these situations. And more than 80% of ways of riding do not. of ways of riding in the world right now depend on the legs and the body more than the hand. That's why you see a horse who's very, very good when it comes for the training. He's trained in a very good way. He gives you every single thing you want. But when he spooks, or when he sees other stallions and mares, he completely switches and changes into a completely different horse. He gives you a very good halt. He moves back in a very simple way, very smooth way. He gives you any move you want. Still, when he spooks, he bucks you off his back. Why? Why does he completely change? Because when he gave you that move, it wasn't real control. It was not real trust. It was just a training process. When he disagrees, he will not give you the same result. So if you lose the result completely, just because he disagreed with you, that means the result, in my opinion, was fake. It wasn't a real result. It will not happen in real situations. What do I mean by real situations? It means when the horse wants something and you want something completely different. Because our nature is completely different than the horse's nature. Usually when you ride, you want to be the boss. You want to control the horse. You want him to do what you want. And usually he wants to do the complete opposite. Especially in the beginning, when you start training the horse. And if the horse disagrees with you, and every single time he disagrees with you, he gets what he wants because of your bad way of riding, of your bad hand reactions, that means he will keep doing it. Okay, when he agrees, he will give you what you want, show jumping, dressage, flat racing, whatever. But when he disagrees, he gets back to his nature, which is run away, buck him off your back, bolt, do not trust him, there is no control, he's not good enough to control you. That's his way of thinking. And this way of thinking happened, or should I say, kept happening, did not disappear because of the bad way of training. So his nature in the beginning is to bolt and disagree with you. That's normal, completely normal in the beginning when you start training the horse. But if it keeps happening and never disappears and sometimes develops and evolves, in this case it's because of the bad way of training or riding or dealing with the horse or handling the horse, not because of the horse himself. What is the proof? The same horse should be trained by a good rider and the result will completely change and the horse will completely change. Now I keep saying disagreement. It's very simple. Horses disagree with us because of their nature. Lions disagree with deers and rabbits. Tigers disagree with, let's say, Arabian oryx. They are completely different when it comes to their nature. One of them thinks by attacking, the other one or the other side thinks by running away. When I say thinks by running away or thinks by attacking, I mean while attacking, that's his nature. He defends himself by attacking. He eats and stays alive by attacking. The other one stays alive and eats and stays safe by running away. When it comes for us, we think like lions and tigers. Horses think like deers. So they run away to protect themselves. They run away to stay safe. That's their way of thinking. When it comes for us, it's the opposite. Stop, don't run away, don't bolt, you will be safe. Now how can you convince him to actually accept your nature and do what you want? If he does not trust you, he will not actually give you that. If he really trusts you, you will totally control him. That's what I mean by disagreement. Completely different way of thinking. Completely different way of thinking or completely different natures. And the goal is to actually convince him about your nature. Because the opposite is completely dangerous for both of you and is not actually good. If you ride the horse and you lose control over the horse and he bolts and bucks, it's not good for you and it's not good for him. It's actually bad for you and him. So the only goal is to make him accept your nature, which is very hard if you are a bad rider. But if you are a good rider, you will be able to do what I just said. Disagreement is the goal to achieve. Controlling the horse when he disagrees is the goal to achieve. That means I want the horse to disagree. I want to put him in situations that will make him disagree. That's my goal. But then I will control the horse when he disagrees. A lot of ways of riding avoid making the horse disagree with them. I want him to disagree to control him. So as I always say in my videos, disagreement leads to stopping. It sounds simple, but it's almost impossible in 90% of ways of riding. Each and every time the horse disagrees, he bucks or bolts. He fights you back. In this way of riding I'm talking about, I'm doing, each and every single time the horse disagrees with you, he completely stops in his place. When he spooks, when he's in front of other stallions and wants to fight, when he's in front of other mares, when you control him with horses, you want him to move behind the horses, with the horses, and in front of the horses. If he disagrees, if he wants to buck, if he wants to bolt, what will happen is that he will stop. And this is the ultimate achievement in horsemanship, which is already achieved in this way of riding. That's my opinion about the difference between the hands and the legs.